Hi, welcome back to Crafting a Country Life. I'm Andrea Marshall. I'm actually coming on today to share some thrift finds that I picked up last weekend, and I wanted to come on and share them on hashtag Thrifty Thursday, which is hosted by Sherry at Turquoise Dreamings. And a thank you to Sherry for hosting this. And the first item that I found was in an antique shop that I was in, and this is a package of Wright's rickrack, and it has sort of a, I don't know, sort of a creamy ivory color, and I think it's just kind of, discolored over time as well. So this color is perfect for some of the journals that I'll be working on. I think I paid $1 for this. And normally, I try to find reasonable prices for thrifted items. We don't have a lot of thrift shops in my area, but we do have some antique shops. And some of what I found here, I did get in an antique shop. So the price is a little bit higher than what I normally like to pay for the purposes that I have in mind. But nevertheless, I certainly understand that people who go through the work of having an antique booth have to meet their rent, and they kind of curate the materials, wash them up, and take care of them, and that is also that's a lot of work, and I certainly don't begrudge anybody their their fair due for doing all of that, of course. So the things that I found in the one antique shop was this set of 4 very, very lightweight old napkins. And these all have the same design, and it has this sort of figure 8 or snowman shape. I'm not sure what it is in the corners of each one. And I didn't buy it for that necessarily. I bought it more for the beautiful soft cotton feel, and this fabric is very, very lightweight, almost sheer. And I bought it for that reason more than anything. So I will be using these in my journaling. And yeah, there's a set of 4 of those. So those I thought were really, really nice. Very soft cotton. The next thing that I found was a little bit of yardage. And this I think I paid $1 for. I don't know, it's about a half a yard or so, maybe a little bit more, of a very fine green print. So I'll probably be using this in some of my primitive projects over the winter. We'll see. With the green color, I kind of thought it would be good for some Christmas journals, that kind of thing. Also be pretty as the cover to a journal, and then you could add your own antique paper or ephemera bits to the surface of that. So I did pick that up. And then I found this little bit of embroidered eyelet lace. I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but it looks to have like maybe a 1960s vintage to it. And very soft again with the little red eyelet trim is really fun. Also great for the holidays. So I found that. And then I found this little bit of, it's slightly stained. It's an eyelet, machine-made eyelet trim on almost like a dimity background or a very lightweight cotton with a little bit of a check pattern to it. And you can see there's, I think, 2.5 yards here. So this will come in handy for stitching onto covers or down the sides of journaling pages. I love that. And I love the color of it. The green is just such a nice kind of mid-century green. So there was that. Another package of rickrack here, same as this, only a little bit larger in size. And again, that was $1 for the rickrack. Okay, and then this came in the mail recently. I had ordered it from one of the used bookshops online. It might have been, I want to say Poshmark. That might not be right, but it could have been abebooks.com. Anyway, it's The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And I do have a copy of this that I've had for years on my bookshelf. And I couldn't bear to cut that one up. So I purchased this one for, I don't know, $5 or $6 online. And this one I intend to use in some journaling. And the illustrations, of course, for those of you that are familiar with Edith Holden's Country Diary, know that these illustrations are so charming. So, so pretty. And then, of course, her diary entries are all handwritten. So it's just a lovely facsimile of her original work. And apparently she spent her days cycling around in England at the turn of the century. Almost every day she was out cycling around, and she made lots of notes on the flora and fauna in her area, and these beautiful watercolors. Just so, so charming. So I was happy to get this. It'll be great in some vintage journaling. So there's that one. And then I found this in the same, this book in the same antique shop where I found the rickrack and the yellow napkins and the trim. This book is called Fabrics of the 1950s. And when you open it up, it has lots of images of 1950s fabrics for home decorating and clothing and so on. So my intention with this is to go ahead and cut this apart and use it in some of my vintage ephemera that I'll be using within my art journaling books that have sort of that turn of or mid-century feel to them. But these are just some of the images that are inside, and it's on glossy paper, so I may do some distressing to this to kind of knock the shine back a little bit, but that doesn't bother me at all. Look at some of these prints here with the quilt blocks. Aren't these great? And I find that it's difficult to find pads of cardstock and collections available online that have mid-century images and icons and patterns in them. So I've had to kind of resort to looking at old books and paper goods that have images that I can use for this time period. Yeah, these are really fun. Look at this one. The fish, I'll bring it up a little closer. Aren't these fun? They all have little faces. Some juvenile prints as well. Just love these. It'd be so cute. I mean, you could make tags out of these, or, you know, do some collaging within your art journals. Very fun. So, picked up that book. Here's the back cover. Also fun. And then I found this one at a Savers that we have in our area, which is kind of a thrift place, similar to Goodwill. I guess people donate and they give a portion to charity. But this one I bought more for the text. It's handwritten, and this could be cut up and collaged within some of my art journal pages. So there's that. And there are also some fun images for stitchery. You can see tassels. There's a little bit more here. So I'll flip through the whole thing, but you can kind of get an idea of what's included. So these will be fun to cut out and use as well. So there was that. Then at Savers, this was the only other thing I found at this particular Savers, and it's a set of two old pillowcases, and they have a heavier weight. I think it's cotton. It doesn't quite have the drape of linen, but it could be a blend too, I don't know. But it has sort of a linen-y weave to it where you can see the slubs of the yarns that were used to create the warp and weft. But the thing that really caught my eye was the beautiful detailing with the hem stitching along the bottom edge and the beautiful embroidery going across the surface of the edge of the pillowcase, and of course the hand-bound buttonholes. You can see the buttons on the inside. These are little pearl buttons. So quite beautiful. And the fabric, because it's a little bit heavier weight, it's heavier than a quilting cotton, but not quite as heavy as a linen tablecloth might be. But the fabric alone, I mean, there's probably a good yard's worth of this soft, gently worn cotton fabric that I can use as well as the hem stitch trimming and the different, you know, the embroidery and the button edges and so on. So this is a good buy. It was I think $3.99 for both of these, and it was the earliest piece on the racks in the store. So there was that. And then I got this at Savers for, oh, I don't know, I think it was 50 cents or something. It's a box of Alex Anderson playing cards, and these were made in 2014. There's a little date stamp down at the bottom. And what I did was, here are the backs of the cards have a quilting pattern. Of course, these are glossy, so I'll probably, you know, do some kind of surface treatment over those just to knock back the brilliance of it just a little bit, depending on what project I'm going to use them for. And then on the other side, I've already gessoed these to, again, knock back the color a little bit. And I'm going to be altering these into some purpose, whether I make tags or what, I haven't decided yet. But those that have pictures on them, you can still see the pictures through, this one I left without gesso, through the gesso a little bit. But you still get sort of an idea of what's happening within the image without it being too brilliant. Yeah, so that deck of cards, those will be fun to play with. And the next and last item that I have is actually not a thrift item, but I picked this up at my local Hobby Lobby. They were having a sale half price for the Paper Studio products. And this paper pad is called Bright Vintage. And it has a lot of vintage icons and images in it with some beautiful text background. But the brightness of these caught my eye. They're not as dark as some of the Tim Holtz products that are available online and in stores. Excuse me. And, you know, they're a little bit softer and lighter in color, so they'll come in handy for lots of different applications for journaling, card making, booklet making, pamphlets, and other items. Oh, excuse me, which you can kind of see a little selection of what's inside the pad. There's 3 of each. So I picked that up as well. And then that is the end of my haul for Thrifty Thursdays. I hope you enjoyed some of the things that you saw, and look forward to seeing you back again very soon. Bye for now.